What's going on? Welcome back into Patriots Draft Central here on Patriots Press Pass for CLNS Media. I'm Mike Kadlick. He's Tayler Kyles. We're powered by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Taylor, we're back here day 3. Patriots so far have made 2 picks, one an offensive guard at number 103, and the second one, a good one. UCF wide receiver Javon Baker with pick 110, the 6'1", 208-pound pass catcher, the former Knight down in Orlando, coming to Foxboro, being added. The second wide receiver they've taken so far in this draft class behind Jalen Polk on Friday night. So instant reaction, Taylor, when you see the Baker stuff happen. You were obviously excited if you haven't watched our live shows already. But what do you make of the Patriots bringing this guy in as a weapon to grow with Drake May?
Yeah, so when Jalen Polk was taken, I was like, all right, he probably projects to be your X, but I do like him better as a Z, but he's got that outside-inside versatility. Now with Javon Baker, another guy who does have inside-outside versatility, but at UCF, he was their X, and he was one of the most productive players in college last season when lined up as the isolated receiver. We know Elliott Wolf told us before the draft, we don't really have that guy who can line up on the backside of a 3-by-1 and consistently exploit one-on-one coverage. That's Javon Baker. Now, the reason he slipped, I was hoping that he would go with their first third-round pick. I wouldn't have really been, in the third round initially. And then I hoped he went in their first fourth-round pick, but it's even better value now. There are legitimate inconsistencies in his game where he has some really frustrating drops at times, whether it's focus or not finishing through contact. He's inconsistent against press. Sometimes he'll get bodied out and kind of taken out of the play at times. His route running, sometimes he'll oversell routes. But a lot of those things are technical, like the hands. A lot of the time it's because rather than like flashing the triangle like you hear all the time, he'll kind of put his hands together, which doesn't hurt, which hurts. And sometimes he'll let balls get into his body. So that's where a lot of that comes from. But that's why you bring in Tyquan Underwood to kind of shore those things up and help with the consistency. But if he reaches his ceiling, this is a guy I think who has legit wide receiver 1 upside. We heard from him. Like the Patriots wide receiver core has a lot of really good guys. They have like Kendrick Bourne, who has great energy. Jalen Polk, who was a leader at Washington. Javon Baker's a dog. He was saying some crazy stuff during the press conference, and it's that edge I think that the receiving core was lacking. I think he has that mentality to really be just a monster. He makes some crazy catches. He's got great body control, good catch radius, and I mentioned it in our other shows, he makes some crazy like one-handed grabs where he'll just like spike a football that's outside of his frame. And he's a really good route runner. He has a good release package. He knows how to manipulate defenders. I mean, you see it right there. Like he's got such great body control, and his skill set, I mean, fire. I'm getting excited already, but this is why I was excited. I think he can be your legit wide receiver 1. I think he pairs perfectly with Jalen Polk, and now Demario Douglas can really be that true complementary slot, and they have a well-rounded young receiving core. I was thrilled about this man. I love the attitude. I love the physical profile. You just got to hone his skill set and kind of try to minimize some of the things that he's not great at. But if they can do that, we're going to look back on this draft and say the Patriots needed to knock some hits out of the park and really reestablish the culture and the skill set in this offense, especially we haven't seen a lot of success with drafted wide receivers. I really do feel like this draft class is going to be that difference.
Yeah, he does have that wide receiver 1 mentality where he like prove everyone wrong, prove the doubters wrong. Before he even spoke with us, he went on Instagram Live and basically said, they took too long. The league's going to pay. Like, you'll all be sorry that you didn't take me this, early enough. And then, of course, the Patriots land him at 110. We spoke with Polk, who also talked about his mentality and was asked about his skill set as a pass catcher. So, if we can pull that up.
What can you tell us and Patriots fans about your game?
Hey, just come to the home stadium and bring out popcorn. That's all I can tell y'all. Bring your popcorn. I make people in wheelchairs stand up. Bring your popcorn.
So, I mean, you see it right there. Confidence, excitement. Get your popcorn ready. Bring the popcorn to the stadium. A guy who we talk about the character that they brought in and guys who can be leaders. This is a little bit of a different guy than we've seen with Polk and, Drake May so far, but obviously a guy who, loves the game, loves to compete, and is excited to join a guy like Drake May, who we also mentioned during his time at Alabama before transferring to UCF, already has worked with Drake May in the past in throwing sessions, so they have a familiarity together as well.
it kind of like for an X-Men comp for any fans there, it kind of reminds me of like Jalen Polk is Cyclops and then Javon Baker's Wolverine, where Cyclops is like the guy who's going to do everything you want him to do. He's hyper reliable and he is the leader. And I think that's what Jalen Polk's probably going to be in that group, you know, once some of the older guys leave and they really take over. And Javon Baker, like we saw Wolverine, he's way more edgy. He's been the face of the franchise at points, but really he's at his best when he's kind of on the side piece and he can do really his role. That's what kind of Javon Baker reminds me of. He's not the leader maybe, but he is that guy where you look at him and you're like, I like what he brings to the table, just brings that real physical and kind of nastiness. I love this pair, those two guys. They're different kind of personalities and skill sets, but they're very complementary.
3 new offensive weapons for the Patriots heading into 2024 in Drake May, Jalen Polk, and Javon Baker, the latest, of course, being Baker. So, Taylor, we've done it for the first couple picks. We do it with Baker now. Grade it. What do you make Professor Kyles? If you had to grade this way too early grade for the Patriots pick at 110 rather, what do you say?
I would give this one an A. I think it was great value. I think it was at a position of need, and it gives the offense a skill set that they really needed. Again, there were flaws, but that's why you got him in the 4th round. And considering what he can be, he's got legitimate like quality steal potential. So that's probably the easiest grade I've given out since Drake May.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's an A, and it's an A where they took him too, because we talked that he could have easily been a round 3 guy and being nabbed on Friday night when we were on our live show. We were talking about the Patriots going up to, going up in a trade and going to get this guy at the back end of the 2nd round or the 3rd round. I'm sorry. He falls. The Patriots do make a pick before in their offensive guard with the 103rd pick, but they wait there at 110. Baker falls to them, and the Patriots have their hopeful wide receiver 1 of the future. So keep it locked in here on Patriots Press Pass for all of our Patriots draft coverage as Elliott Wolf, Gerard Mayo, and the New England Patriots reshape this new era in New England, this new regime run by now those 3. Remember, we are presented by Prize Picks. $100% deposit match up to $100. It's that easy. Use promo code CLNS. Remember to keep it locked in here, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you next time.